Hello, I'm Dr. Richard Ruth. I'm the President and Senior Consultant here at Tri7 Services. And this is part 2 of the 3-part video series on strategic business planning for the corporation. As we said at the beginning of part 1 of this video series on strategic planning, according to Peter Drucker, strategy at its heart is the process by which we improve the way we create customers for the company. Well, if great strategic planning is all about developing better ways to create customers, then there's a mandate for us to be asking a series of great questions. We start by asking the first obvious question. What is the process by which we create a customer? To make this a really useful question, we need to answer it from the customer's point of view. So for the first great question, from the customer's perspective, what is the process by which we create a customer? The answer to this question usually turns out to be pretty complicated, with lots of debate among the senior leadership team over exactly what that process looks like. You want the answer to this to be as granular as you can. When you ask, what is step 1 of the process? Here are some various answers you'll typically get. Step 1 of the process happens when the customer first hears about our brand or hears about our company. Another possible answer is, step 1 of the process occurs when the customer consciously identifies a need for our product or service. And another possible answer, the first step of the process happens when a customer first sees an advertisement that helps to develop that need and the association with our company providing the satisfaction of that need. And the list of possible answers to this first step question goes on and on. Then you'll continue as a team to work through the entire process, outlining and describing each step of the process all the way through to the final steps of the customer deciding to purchase from your company and making payment. There's not a single path through this process. There will be multiple parallel paths. And as you move through this discovery process with your senior leadership team, there will be questions such as, how do we build a customer? How do they pay us? What services do they get from us? And at what point in the process do we deliver those services? At what point does the customer get information about our products, our services, our warranties? And how does that information get requested? And how does it get delivered? What are the issues relative to customer retention? You want to be granular enough to have at least 20 steps in the process. When you start getting very granular in describing the customer creation process, you're going to get a lot of various perspectives and opinions. This is actually a good thing. If properly guided, which is one reason you need a coach, it will generate some very constructive debate that will help build important consensus in the senior leadership team. What you're really looking for here as you map out the process is the answer to this question. Where are the bottlenecks in your customer creation process? In other words, in what steps of the process are we not doing as good a job as we could be doing, and therefore we're losing prospective customers? Because when you talk about developing a better business strategy, you really should be talking about improving and optimizing the process by which you create customers. What can you do to make it easier and more streamlined for prospective customers to become your customers? This is a very powerful question. It will result in asking the more granular questions such as, in what ways would the customer like to see us speed up the purchasing process and make it easier to buy? How should we improve the discovery process for our customer? How can we strengthen our brand in the minds of our prospective customers? Where is the customer most often getting confused? And how do we minimize that confusion? What are the objections that most often form in the mind of a prospective customer? At what points in the process do those objections form? What should we do to anticipate and address those objections? The coach for your senior leadership team will help you identify the great questions you should be asking, and then help guide your senior leadership team through the discussion, discovery, resolution planning, and desirable success metrics for this part of your strategic planning process. Thank you for watching this Part 2 video presentation. I think you'll find our Part 3 video presentation to be the most challenging and fascinating of all 3 parts.